Welcome back. Jake Butler learned how to make money and then he sought to teach others. He joins us now to talk about his new book, Mind Steering Business Secrets, The Journey to Success, a conversation with entrepreneurs and industry leaders. Jake, welcome. So good to see you again.
Trina, how you doing?
I am great. And even better now that I'm seeing you. Wow, this book has so much good stuff in it. Why did you write it?
Well, I collaborated with Kevin Harrington, one of the original sharks from Shark Tank, and I wrote it because I've been through a lot. My dad was a preacher, so I have a heart to, help people and meet them where they are. So, but more so from a business standpoint, not as much from a spiritual standpoint, but from a financial literacy standpoint. So, I saw a lot of mistakes that my dad made financially, and I learned from that, which is why I've been able to achieve what I have now. And it's important, I think, to instill that into other individuals, adults and kids, which is, why I started a nonprofit to show kids how to invest and why I wrote the book, so people can learn from my mistakes and learn how to make money as well.
Who's the book intended for? Because you just did a gamut of people there.
I would say teenagers that want to learn from that, teenagers that have the desire to start their own business, as well as adults that want to learn from CEOs, entrepreneurs, and then want to learn from their mistakes so they don't make the same mistakes. I would say the book is intended for that.
You've got some big names in this book. Some really successful people. Tell us about some of them.
Well, what they did was there were a lot of entrepreneurs that wanted to contribute, and Kevin selected, I think, about the top 20 that he felt would be beneficial. And all of us have a chapter, and we wrote extensively what we felt would be beneficial to the community.
That was so cool getting Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank to do the introduction.
Yeah, Kevin's super awesome. It's a great thing that he wanted to do, and I was happy to be a part.
Oh, I bet. What do you hope people take away from this book if they have a dream and just don't know how to realize that dream?
You know what, it's funny because I was doing my financial budget the other day, and all of my expenses are going up, but my income is almost staying the same. So I said, you know what, the only thing really to do is you can only cut for so much, but you have to learn how to make more money. There's only 24 hours in a day. People, Fortune 500, people that are millionaires and billionaires, they have the same amount of hours in a day that, the average person has. So we only have 24 hours. So if you're out there, if you're struggling, what can you do? You've cut as much as you can cut, then your spare time, take that time to learn how to make more money. Fortunately, I've been successful in doing that in real estate, anywhere from $500 to $5 million. I can show you how to grow that.
Tell me about, and this is a little bit off of your book,
Sure,
but kind of rolls into it as well, what you do with kids about teaching them about money, because I think the illiteracy in finances and money and even just a checking account, if anybody even keeps those anymore, kids aren't getting that in most schools, so they come out totally ignorant of money and finances and how the world works. And everybody knows the USA rolls on money.
Right. Well, what happened to me was I had about 20 interns, 20 high school students interning at my office through a Miami-Dade County public school program. And I was paying some bills, and one of the kids asked me what I was doing. At that particular bill, I was paying with a check. And then I asked them to go put it in the mailbox and mail it for me, and they didn't know what a stamp was either.
Whoa.
And these two students were getting ready to graduate that year.
Oh, that's tragic.
So I said, you all don't know what a stamp is, and you don't know what a check is. So that prompted me to, along with some other things that happened with my after-school program, that prompted me to start Rich Kid Camp Online, which shows kids how to one, read a stock chart, how to analyze real estate, which is really only 8th grade math, residential and commercial, and then also teaches them the importance of entrepreneurship.
That is fantastic. Yeah. And you say you have this heart to give to others, because every time I talk to you, you're helping somebody or doing some new thing. Tell me how your father instilled this heart of just helping other people.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so my dad was a pastor, but he also had a mortgage company. He would buy houses, fix them up, and resell them, and made a ton of money, but the mistake was he thought he could continue to do that like forever. And so when the market dried up, his effort didn't dry up, but the economy dried up, so his business model no longer worked anymore. So if you don't save and if you don't prepare, then you think that money's going to keep coming. So sometimes I would come home from school and he would be counting $20,000, $30,000 on the kitchen table, and I was only concerned about my Nintendo games at the time. Right. I didn't know you at the time, so I couldn't donate to your ministry. But so that when he kind of fell down when the economy crashed, and when I became a school teacher and wasn't making much money, I started thinking about that. At that time, I was involved in basketball. I was doing some private lessons for a millionaire guy, and his wife, Katrina People. She was like, Jake, buildings make money, and you don't have to be there. So once I started, it's like, I don't really need to make some more money than, $35,000, $45,000 as a school teacher. So I remembered that. I remember my dad. I remembered all his mistakes. And then that's why I'm glad to have a passive income portfolio that I can, come here the day before you need me. I can be here at any time. So
And
I'm
it's
happy to be able to live like
appreciated.
that right now.
I guess, what's the most valuable, maybe give me 3.
Okay.
Valuable insight in that book that you want somebody that, they get it and they use it and they live by it?
I would say if you want to make money and don't know where to start, the book would be a great help because I have a couple websites in there to my online investing programs, Money University, where just for $100 a month, you can start to learn different investing strategies. And I try to have different categories where people can afford to begin to learn, because it's free to learn if somebody will teach you, So I would say learn, 2, begin to implement it, and 3, get a mentor. So because if you have a mentor, you can avoid so many mistakes. And
That
if you
is so
try to get
true.
one for free, if you can't, there are paid programs, but those are the 3 components I would say.
Anything from any of those experts that you talk to, these tremendously successful people that you said, whoa, why didn't I do that sooner?
I would say get a mentor. Try to connect to someone that's successful in that area that's willing to teach you, because everybody's not willing to, to teach you. But if you can do that, and then if you're young, try to get an internship in that area. If you're older, then spend your spare time trying to learn a skill set or a particular skill or a particular financial skill that can get you to make more money or further your education in a particular occupation.
How do you think we get beyond that to really get people to learn about money so they're not, ending up in their 50s and 60s and 70s with no savings and no passive income? You're hearing so many retirees who are really in trouble right now.
Yeah, I was watching the news the other day. I think it was Channel 6.
I hope it was Channel 6, honey.
As a matter of fact. And a lot of retirees, have to go back, work at Walmart, work
Publix,
at CVS,
yeah.
just because they didn't save enough. And it really starts with the educational system. I know in China they go to school year round. Also, the financial literacy component is a lot stronger. I know here in Florida, they've increased the financial literacy component. Not just now, you can't graduate unless you have financial literacy classes. But if you look at the curriculum doesn't teach how to invest, but it does teach about credit and some of the other things that are very, very important. But you have to be able to make money, save money, and grow money. You have to be able to do those things. And if all of those things aren't a part of the curriculum, then the child has to learn how to do it either through life experiences, which that's kind of difficult, or you have to have a family member in your household that teaches or preaches financial literacy, which if they don't have it, it's kind of hard for them to do it. If nobody's ever made $1 million in your family, how are they going to tell you how to make $1 million? And then also on top of that, they have to have the curriculum in their own home in order to be able to get that information. I'm glad I mentioned, I just came out with a kid's book that has a word search puzzle and also some coloring things to get them to learn about financial literacy at a young age.
How could you forget that?
You know what?
What's the name of it?
I forgot. It's called Rich Kid Camp Online Activity Book.
Fantastic.
So that's just something that I just did because at the young ages, if they can just learn the words with flashcards and different various things. My nephew was telling my sister. He would say, Mom, she was like, what cap rate is that? What's your interest rate on your credit card? She was like, boy, shut up. Like, how do you know about that?
That's going to be the next millionaire in the family. Jake, it is such a pleasure seeing you. Always have such great information and such fantastic stuff online where people can get their hands on and learn.
Thank you so much.
Nah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It's good seeing you again.
Thank you again.
Well, you know what? Money doesn't guarantee happiness, does it? But it does provide tranquility and financial security. Learn to use it wisely. We'll see you next time right here on Money Chat.